when you are mentally, emotionally, just at peace and at ease, things are so much easier. I know that it's not always about physical preparation to do well, as much as maybe about, being so mentally in that really sweet spot. And I remember one year I went down to play in the Argentina Masters in Buenos Aires. And leading up to it, I went to Iraq for 10 days. Spent 10 days in Iraq on a USO trip, visiting the troops over there and doing all the things you do. Never touched a golf club in 10 days, and then all the travel on top of that. And then getting to Buenos Aires and having 2 days to prepare, and then I went out and I won the tournament. And the reason why I won the tournament is because I was in such a great frame of mind.
Wow.
I was so happy and at peace, pleased with what the last 10 days had brought and what we had accomplished, and just felt so good about what we had done in myself. And that mental joy, just transformed into this fresh attitude, which transformed into great golf, which transformed into winning this tournament. And so I think that's kind of, in some ways, how I view, taking the assessment, is it kind of helped me to return to more of that sense of that peace and with joy and purpose. I think as a competitor, as you get older and you start to see your talents erode, you get less, you have less fun. Less fun. Golf isn't as much fun. It's not fun finishing 30th. It's not fun finishing 40th. It's even less fun finishing 50th. And there seems to be a lot of that going on. And so then you start thinking about, well, what's next then? If it's not golf, then what? And what will I do with, so a lot of things in which steal your joy. Steal your joy. And once I got the results and we went over that, one of the biggest things you said was, hey, Tom, here's the goal for the next few weeks. You're going to go out and have fun. I want you to go out and have fun. So Minnesotans are typically not self-promoters. They typically are really friendly people. They don't want to push themselves forward. They don't want to force their agenda on you. I mean, at least that's the way I was raised. And I think most of my friends are that way too. And therefore, I really hold back with things that I know and things that I think are important, because I don't want to be offensive to other people. Through this assessment, Robb really made it clear, to me, that like you have this powerful platform in the world of sports and in society and some parts of society where you can have a big influence on what people think or what they maybe give them something to consider, and so why hold back what why hold back the things that you find to be important when you have the power to influence people with that. I had to kind of rearrange my thinking. It's like, it's not being really forcing myself on somebody, it's maybe just telling people what I know. Here's what I know, and here's what I've experienced, and you can take it for what you want, but this has been my experience in my life. And so kind of using that platform to have more influence, and so as I think about my future, that is a big part of what I see in my future, is using more of what I've been given, to put out there and try to influence society in a good way.
I think another key element that I can say from my standpoint, from the coach's standpoint, is that, when I sat down with Tom after he got his new knee, and I said, well, why don't we could start working on some of these things. And so I said, what are like 2 or 3 things that you would really like to work on that would be meaningful? And it took you a bit to even get to that point. And that's pretty normal with a lot of people. Like, you think about, you're a very goal-oriented person, but as you said, you didn't necessarily like to write them down.
Right. So yeah, you want me to write down my goals. You're saying, I've been thinking a lot about it. I've got it all, just write it down. Why haven't you written it down yet? I don't know. Let me take accountability. I haven't done it. I don't know why, but I haven't done it.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that says something, but thanks for being honest, so just go write them down. And so I did. So I went and I wrote them down. And one of the things was the way I've always been raised, the way I've always lived was that whatever you do it the very best that you can. Okay, so my goal was to, whatever I do it the best that you can. All right, give it all you got and be the best you can be at whatever it is you're going to do, which led me then to evaluate some of the things that I'm doing. So one of them is I'm on the board of this organization called Elevate Phoenix. As a board member, you're expected to be at the meetings. You're expected to take part, in the decision making that guides the organization. And over the last year and a half or so, with the way our life is, I've become a terrible board member. So I made up in my mind that after our big gala that I'm going to resign from the board, and I'm going to invent a new position for myself within the organization, maybe to do, special events or special programs or something that really appeals to me, but that I refuse any longer to be a bad board member, and it's all because of this assessment, is that it made me realize that I want to be good at what I do and all that I do, and if I'm bad at it, don't do it.
I love that.
Wow.
Look, I think this whole thing about introspection and looking at yourself in the mirror, and if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and like what you see, you're in tough shape. So I think that's what we're all looking for, is to be able to look at ourselves in the mirror and like with what we see. And I really do believe that it's easy to kind of fall into ruts. And I see this relationship with Robb as a friend, and this ability through the science to kind of make improvements to be pretty life-changing stuff. So I'm excited. The assessment really becomes that it can become like a tool, that you can lean on and to know yourself and give yourself more credit. I think we tend to undersell ourselves. I tend to think that we don't give ourselves enough credit as people in general, that we're capable of way more than we give ourselves credit of being able to do. And I think once you kind of learn that through the science, it kind of gives you a little bit of more confidence to say, well, yeah, hey, I am way better than I thought I was. And so the next time you get that clutch situation, maybe approach it with a little more positive expectation. But the only way you really get the confidence to that point to be a world-class golfer is to actually do it when you have to do it. The way to be good at anything is you have to simply love it. That's the step number one, no matter what you're doing. If you want to be great at something, you have to love it. Okay, because if you love it, then you're willing to work as hard as you have to work, as you need to work to get to be the best you can be. So it all based upon, if you have to love what you do, and then you have to work really hard, and that whole thing leads to the point where you develop confidence and poise, which gives you then the ability to be something special. And to preface, I would go back to this golf tournament in Argentina that I won because I was in such a great state of mind. To me, that is the power to a golfer of this assessment, is once you understand it and you get a game plan of action going forward, it helps to put you in that great frame of mind. So if I were to talk to any golfer and to be really truly honest, I would tell them, I don't know that this assessment's going to help you swing the club any better. It may not even help you with your course management. In fact, it probably won't. It says, but what it will do is it may save your marriage. It may save your relationship with your kids. It may improve your relationship with your parents. To me, if I could give one sentence about the assessment to a professional golfer, it would be, you play your best golf when you're happy. This thing can help you be the most happy.